Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. Now take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Abyssus by Gerhard 1963, and here are the rules. Standard Sudoku rules apply. The digits 1 through 9 appear in every row, column, and box. Doubler cells. Shade 9 cells so that there is exactly one shaded cell in each row, column, and box. Shaded cells cannot contain repeated digits. So in all the shaded cells, you cannot have a repeat. And remember, there's 9 of them, so that should give you a hint there. If D is a digit in the shaded cell, the value of that shaded cell is 2 times D. That makes sense, right? So if the digit is in the shaded cell is, say, like a 4, then the value of that shaded cell would be 8 because it's a doubler, right? So naturally, it's 2 times whatever the value, whatever the digit is. Values of non-shaded cells are the same as the digit they contain, which is normal Sudoku rules, right? Now we have cages. Digits in cages cannot repeat, and their values must sum to the number shown in the upper left corner of the cage. There is a doubler cell in every cage. Okay, so that means we definitely have a doubler cell in every cage. That's important to know. So therefore, an example of this, so say this was the doubler, right? And this was not doubler. Actually, let's make the doublers, when we're going to make the doublers green, we normally do that. And then the unshaded cells are basically normal cells. So say this was a doubler cells. This, as an example, this could be something like 2 and 6. The 2 is doubled, and the 6 is its own value. So this cell's value becomes 4, and this is 6. So the values in total add up to 10. So this is an example of a valid killer, and they're called killer cages, but in this specific puzzle, he's calling them cages. And remember, there is a doubler cell in every cage. So we always have a doubler cell. And that's cages. Orbital whispers, shown as navy blue lines, adjacent values along an orbital whisper line must differ by at least 8. Okay, so orbital whispers, so values along an orbital whisper line must differ by at least 8. I'm not going to give an example because that would basically solve a lot of things. Anyways, remember, oh, it's adjacent values along an orbital whisper line. Interesting. So that means you could have a doubler here and then a non-doubler here. And if this were, say, a 9 doubled, that would be 18. You could have any digit from 1 to 8, actually technically 1 to 9, be in this spot because this is 18 and that's 8 away from essentially all the digits. Okay, so that is non-trivial then. I thought it was trivial, but I forgot about the doubler rules, the doubler clues. So that is orbital whispers. They must differ by at least 8, right? And 9 times doubled essentially is 18. And if you take 18, subtract 8 from it, that's 10. So anything 10 or below could be next to the 9 doubled. And that's the orbital whisper rule set. Crop key pairs. Values in cells separated by a black dot are in a 2-to-1 ratio. Values in cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. So for example, these are values, remember. So if, for example, this were a 1, or actually let's say this was a 2, then this would have to be 1 or 4 to maintain the 1-to-2 ratio. It could... Actually, let's make this... Well, that doesn't work either. Okay, if this is 4... Yeah, let's do this one. This is specifically a 2 or an 8. Say this is 4 in value. This would have to be a 2 or an 8 in value. So it could be a 2 and 8, or it could be a 1 doubled in value, right? So that's a possibility for the black crop key pair. So that's an example of how that works. And say this was a 5. This could be a 4, a 6. Well, actually, let's use this. If this is a 5, this could be a 4, a 6. It could be a 2 doubled. So this could be a doubled 2 or doubled 3, right? Because the 2 doubled in value is 4, and the 3 doubled in value is 6, and that value is consecutive with the 5. So that's a possibility for these cells. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so we know there's a doubler cell in each case. So one of these two cells is a doubler, and one of these two cells is a doubler. That means the rest of the box and the rest of the columns cannot have doubler cells. Let's make it blue. That allows us to see the line still. So these cannot be doubler cells. Well, for orbital whispers, if you have two digits, neither of which can be two adjacent digits on an orbital whisper cell, neither of which can be a doubler, that means it has to be 1 and 9 specifically, because those are the only digits without a doubling which can basically be next to each other on a orbital whisper line. So this is 1 and 9. These are 1 and 9. These are 1 and 9. This cannot be a 1 or 9 because we have a 1-9 pair there. So it must be next to 2. This is 1 and 9, right? So again, we have a 1-9-1-9 pair in column 3 and a 1-9-1-9 pair in column 7, which eliminates 1 and 9 from the rest of the column. This can't be 1 or 9. And since this can't be 1 or 9, it has to be at least 2 through 8, which means that if it's 8 away, it has to be doubled, both sides. So this cannot be, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is not 1 or 9. So both of these have to be doubled, because there's no other value that's 8 or more away from 2, or 2 through 8, essentially. So this has to be a doubled value, and this has to be a doubled value. Similarly, this has to be a doubled value, and this has to be a doubled value, right? So one of these is a doubled value, and this cannot be the doubled value. So this has to be the doubled value here. This can't be the doubled value, so this has to be single value, which means this is doubled valued here. Now, we have 7 without a 1 possible in it, right? So that means the odd digit must be 3 with 2 doubled here. So this has to be a 3 in value. We made that gray. I don't know why. This is blue. Well, I normally make it dark gray for color canceling things out. So these cannot be doublers, and these can't be doublers, right? Let's just mark everything that we know cannot be doublers. These can't be doublers. These can't be doublers. This can't be a doubler. None of these can be doublers. These can't be doublers. These can't be doublers. And these can't be doublers. This can't be a doubler. We now have all the doublers here. So this is a doubler. This is a doubler. This is a doubler. The rest of, again, these are 1 and 9, right? The rest of these cells have to be 1 and 9 because they are two non-doublers which are next to each other. So it must specifically be 1 and 9. And this must be 1 and 9, right? This, again, has to be 3 with 2 doubled. So therefore, this is next. This is 3 that's doubled. So therefore this must be 6 then. Right, 2 doubled is 4 plus 3 is 7. This is doubled. It cannot be 1 or 9. On the orbital, what do you call it? Orbital whisper line, you have to have at least a 5 doubled in each of them, right? So this is 5 through 9, this is 5 through 9, this is 5 through 9, and this is 5 through 9, right? Because you have to have at least 2, which is 8, you have to have at least 8 away from 2, which is 10. And so therefore the doubler has to be 5 or more. This cannot be 1 or 9. This doubler can't be 1 or 9. Actually, this doubler can't be 9 because of the 1-9 pair in the box. This doubler can't be 9 because of the 1-9 pair in the box. Same here. This can't be 1 or 9 because of the 9 paired in the box. The 1-9 pair in the box. This can't be 1 or 9 because of the 1-9 pair in the box and in the column. So all of these doublers are 5 through 8, which means none of the other doublers can contain 5 through 8. So they have to be 1, 3, 4, and 9 for the rest of the doublers. Well, this can't be 1 or 9 because of the 1-9 pair in the row. So, and this can't be 1 or 9 because of the 1-9 pair in the column. So this is 1 or 9, and this is 1 or 9. Which means these doublers now must be 3 and 4 because we have a 1-9, 1-9 pair in all the doublers, which eliminates 1 and 9 from the rest of the doublers. So this is 3 or 4, this is 3 or 4. So if this is 3 doubled, that would mean that it's 6, and it has to be with 4. And this would then be 5, because we would have 3 here. So you could have 3 doubled with 4 and 5, or this is 4 doubled with 2, and it cannot be 1, so this would have to be 3 here. So we know one of these is a 4, and one of these two is a 3, but we're not sure which. Okay, what else do we have here? 2 through 8. This cannot be 2 or 3 because we have a 2 or 3 here. This has to be at least 4. So since this is at least 4, that means it has to be at least 8 away from that, which means 5 doubled does not work. So this cannot be 5 doubled, which means 5 doubled has to be one of these two. Well, 5 of the doubled has to be one of those two, which means this specifically has to be 2. Because 5 doubled is 10, and 8 away from 5 doubled can only, as a single digit, can only be 2. So this is, or 1, but 1 is not allowed on any of these orbital lines. So this has to be a 2, which forces this to be 4, which makes this 3. Therefore, this is now a 4. This 4 has to be next to a 5. So this cannot be the 5 doubled. So this is the 5 doubled. Ooh, that's not good. No. Hold up. We have an error here then. Oh, wait. Yeah, I made a mistake. Okay, so this cannot be. Okay, so this can't be 2. I forgot this actually could be... that was a mistake. Okay, so this can't be 1 and 9 here. 9 is one of these two, but we don't know which. This could be 3 and 4, and this could be 3 and 4. I don't know why I just ignored 3 and 4 as possibilities. This can't be 3 or 4, but that's only unique to that. This can't be 9, obviously, but it could be 1, and we just tried it with... Obviously, the 4 and the 2 doesn't work. And we just tried 3, 4, and 5, and obviously this can't be 5 because it would be next to... well, actually, this could be 5. Okay, well, anyways, I did find a problem there. So this has to be a 2. This actually could be a 2. I forgot about that. So the 5 could actually still be here. This cannot be a 5 doubled. This can no longer be 4. So this is 1 or 3. If this is 1 doubled, what is this? That means this is 2 in value. This would be an 8. So this would have to be next to a 7. So this can no longer be 3. And the 4 doesn't have to be here. Oh, it can't be 1. That's right, it can't be 1. So therefore, it did have to be, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Which means this can't be 5. Okay, no, my logic was correct. This is 4. This does have to be, this can't be 1 or 9 because of the 1-9 pair in the column. Right, that's why. So this is 1 or 9. This does have to be the 5 doubled. But again, it could be next to 2 2s. And in fact, it actually has to be next to 2 2s. So those are both 2. Okay, right. So whatever 1-9 this is, so say this is A. Oops. This is A. This one has to be B. So this one's B, this one's A, this one's B, this is A. Which means it's next to a B here, so this is A. Which makes that B, which makes that A, which makes that B, which makes that A. That's a B, this is an A. Okay, so we have all the A's. Or do we? We now know we have 8 A's. No, we don't. We have 7 A's, but we have enough information to essentially figure out where the A's have to be. So this can't be A, this can't be A, this can't be A, and this can't be A. So therefore, this is an A. Now we have 8 here. This can't be A, this can't be A, this can't be A, so this must be an A. What about B's? Again, these can't be B, these can't be B, this can't be B, that can't be B. So this is B. And the last B has to be here. So this is B. So those are the 1s and 9s. This, we don't know what this could be. It could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If it's 8, that would be 8 away from 8 doubled, but not from 7 doubled. So this cannot be 8. And can it be 7 either? If it's 7, if 7 can be 8 away from 8 doubled, but not 7 doubled. So this can't be 7 either, right? One of these two has to be non-8. So it could be a 7 double, which is 14. And so 5, 4, 5, and 6 fit that. What about the 2s? This can't be 2, this can't be 2, this can't be 2, so this must be a 2. Let's remove the B's and just color them differently. So we're gonna make this, I don't know. The orange and the A's. We're gonna make the pinks, I guess. So that we have easy visuals. These are all 1-9 also. This can't be 6 doubled because of this 6. So either this is 6 doubled or this is 6 doubled. These are consecutive. These are consecutive. These are consecutive. Okay, so what are the remaining digits here? Actually, let's do the remaining digits in the corner boxes. These have to be... Well, So 3 cannot be here, and 3 cannot be here. So 3 is one of these two. Which means 3 has to be one of those 3. This can't be 3, and this can't be 3. So 3 has to be one of these two cells, which doesn't tell us much information. The remaining digits here have to be 4, 5, 7, 8. And this can't be 5. This could be 3 and 4. It cannot be 1 and 2 because we don't have those available. This could be 3, 4. Or it could be 6, 7, or 7, 8. Right, this is 4, 6, 7, 8 here. This can't be 4. So this cannot be 4 here, which means this can't be 3 specifically, because that can't be 4. The remaining digits here are 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this cannot be 5 because of this 5. So 5 is either here or here. The remaining cells here are 5, 6, 7, 8. And this can't be 5 or 6. This is 5, 6, 7, or 8, but this can't be 5. So 5 is one of these two cells. This has to be 4, 7, or 8 here. 1 or 9, non-doubled, has to be next to 2 or 8, but this can't be 2, therefore this must be 8, which means this is 3 as a remaining digit. These can't be 8, so this must be 7. This can't be 7 or 8, so this is 4. This can't be 7 or 8, so this is 5 and 6. Which means this is a 5, 6 pair in column 7, which eliminates 5 and 6 from the rest of the column. This can't be 7 either, this has to be 8. The pinks have to all be 9, and the oranges all have to be 1. Okay, so then we could remove the orange color, and we can move the pink color. Oops, the pink color specifically, because we want to color everything else blue. So not that, this is blue, and not that, so therefore that's blue. Okay, now we have that. This can't be 8 anymore. So one of these two is an 8. 1 has to be next to a 2 in value. So this is 1 and 2. Okay. So 2 cannot be here. So 2 has to be one of these two cells. Which means this can't be 2, this can't be 2. Where is a 2 in box 3? It has to be here. One of these is a 2, and we're not sure about this. Okay, so we have all the 1s, we have all the 9s. I don't even know if we have close to all the 8s. These are specifically 6 and 7. So now we have a 6, 7, 6, 7 pair in column 8, which eliminates 6 and 7 from the rest of the column. Therefore, they must be 3 and 4 here. Well, this 3 or 4 can only be next to another 3 or 4, which is not possible. Well, okay, this is 3, this is 4 because of that 4. This 4 can only be next to a 5 then, so this is 5. And we have 6, 7, or 8 here. This can't be 5 or 4, so this must be a 6. 6 can only be next to at least 14 in value. So this can't be a 6 doubled, so this is 7 or 8 doubled, which makes this the 6 doubled, which means this can't be 6. The rest of these are 4, 5, 7, 8. This can't be 4 or 5. We have a 7, 8, 7, 8 pair now in row 3, which eliminates 7 and 8 from the rest of the row. Therefore, this can't be 7 or 8. This has to be 3, 6, and this has to be 3 or 6. Okay, we have a 7, 8, 7, 8. This can't be 6 anymore, so that must be 7, which forces this to be 6, which allows us to eliminate 7 here, and 6 here. This can't be 8, so none of those could be 8. If this is 8, it would have to be next to a 7 or a 9, but it can't be either, so this can't be 8. So 4 or 5 has to be next to a 4, 5, or a 6. It cannot be next to a 3, which means one of these is a 5, right? It's either 4, 5, or it's 5, 6 here. Well, then this can't be 5. We also know this specifically can't be 5 because one of these cells in column 5 has to have a 5, and these can't be it, so it must be here. So this is a 5, which means this can't be 5, which forces this to be the 5. This can't be 5 anymore. This can't be 5. What's consecutive here? 5 can be consecutive with 6, and 6 can be consecutive with 7. So this is specifically 6 and... Oh, wait, this could be 4. 5 can be consecutive with 4 also. This can't be 8. This can't be 8 anymore because of the 8s. These can't be 7. So since these can't be 7, one of these two has to be the 7, which means these can no longer be 7. This is 4 and 6, which is only consecutive with 5. So this is 5, this is 6. This can no longer be 5. Whereas the 6 in this row, it has to be one of these two cells, which means these can't be 6. So this is either 3, 4, or this is 7, 8. Well, we have a 4, 7, 8 triplet in box 7, which eliminates 4, 7, and 8 from the rest of the box. Therefore, this can't be 4, 7, or 8, so this must be a 5. Remaining digits. This is 5, so it can't be consecutive with 2. So this must be the 2. 5's consecutive with 4 or 6, but this can't be 6, so this is 4, which makes that 7, which makes that 8. This 8 means this is 7. This 7 means this has to be an 8, because again, you can't have repeats in the doublet cages. So this is 8, this can't be 7 or 8, so this is 4, which makes this 7, which makes this an 8. This 4 means this is 8, which has to be next to a 7, so therefore this is 3, this has to be 6 then. This is a 4, this 6 means this is a 3, this can't be 3 or 6, so this is 8, this has to be a 6 then. And now we're just probably doing Sudoku. This has to be 6, we do have this consecutive pair here. This has to be a 3. This has to be a 4 here. Okay, remaining digits here are 2, 5, and 8. And this cannot be 5 or 8. So this is 2, which means this can't be a 2, which forces this to be a 2. So this is 5 and 8 remaining here. This has to be 3 and 7. So this is 3 or 7. That's where the consecutiveness probably comes in. This has to be 4 or 5. Well, 4 or 5, the only possible combination of two digits here that are consecutive are 3 and 4. So this is 3, this is 4, which makes that a 5. This must be a 7, which forces this to be 3. This 5 means this can't be a 5, so this is 8, which makes that 5. This is just normal Sudoku. That's a 7, this is an 8. This has to be 7, and this has to be a 6. And it is cool and good as long as you remember why you eliminated possibilities here and here. If you don't, you could go down a path where you're like, wait, this doesn't work, and then you'll have to backtrack. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty cool. Especially with the orbital whisper and the doubler rule set, right? That's actually very interesting here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.